Hey everyone, I cannot believe I'm going to be making this video, but I am, because there is this crazy rumor going on the internet. You've probably heard it, that Prime Minister Netanyahu has been killed and that Tel Aviv is in flames and that the Israelis are covering all of this up because they want to project that they're doing better than they actually are in the war. And this is coming from a very interesting place psychologically. And I guess I'll talk about that after we take a look at this whole story. But before we get into that, let me remind you once again to go to Israel365charity.com and donate to our Israel Under Fire campaign. So if you go to the website, Israel365charity.com. It should be linked in the description of this video. But Israel365charity.com, and then click on the banner near the top of the page, or you can scroll down a little bit further. You can scroll down a little further where it talks about current projects, and Israel 365 charity is constantly raising funds for very important projects, humanitarian projects in Israel, and we are very well connected on the ground, and the money will get into the right hands. So you can click on Israel at War Help Now, or you can click on the banner at the top of the page and participate and help out with everything that's going on in Israel these days. All right, let's get to this whack job of a story here. So here's an account, Asif Ali, and the translation of this here, we'll click translation. Breaking: Iran has just attacked Netanyahu's bunker. From this footage, it's crystal clear that it's now confirmed that Netanyahu was present in that bunker. What do you think when you see the destruction of the bunker? Have they really killed Netanyahu in this attack? You yourself can gauge the extent of the destruction. Okay, now this is actually absurd for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, let's take a look again. You notice that there is a large cross, a crucifix posted here. Prime Minister Netanyahu is a Jew, okay? He is a Bible-believing Jew. There is absolutely no chance on earth that this is that this is actually his home, and that it has a crucifix. And also, this is not an Israeli home at all. This is not what an Israeli home looks like. This is not the type of construction in Israel. Israeli homes are generally built of stone. This looks more like a suburban ranch home somewhere in the United States. So it's an absurd video. But if you look further into this account, Asif Ali, so this guy Asif Ali, look what he's been posting. Here's a post that he put up on March 8th. Tel Aviv right now. Now, this is not Tel Aviv. There was no such scene like this in Tel Aviv. This doesn't even look like Tel Aviv in any way. That's not, it just makes no sense. And then he's got another one up here. He's really pushing this narrative. Breaking: intense reports of missile strikes from Iran in Tel Aviv. According to reports, several senior Israeli commanders have been killed in flame, and flames of fire have risen in various parts of the city. Now, I promise you that none of this is actually true. And yeah, I mean, I know they wish it would be true, and I guess they have some interest in painting Israel as being hit really hard in this war, but it's just not happening. So sorry, Asif Ali, Tel Aviv is not burning. And then another creative angle on this Bibi is dead story is this one, where people have been posting this video of Defense Minister Israel Katz with the army brass. Here's the chief of staff and some of the other top generals. And it says here, okay, here's what this genius posted. Okay, I've been skeptical of these rumors that Netanyahu is dead and wanting confirmation, but here's Israel's security briefing today, and Netanyahu is absent. He's either in hiding, injured, or dead. Now, this is so ridiculous because the defense minister frequently has meetings with the army brass. In fact, he is their direct commander. That's the way it works in Israel. Like in the United States, the president is the commander-in-chief. In Israel, the government is actually sort of the commander-in-chief, but it's really the defense minister. The defense minister is the person who interacts with the generals on a daily basis. He's the one who meets with them and gives them their orders. He consults with the prime minister, but the defense minister is the one who meets with them. Meetings between the defense minister and the army brass without the prime minister happen all the time because the prime minister has a lot of other duties as well. This is not a rarity whatsoever. And then, of course, we have people celebrating. Netanyahu has been killed. It's certain. Joy, hellfire, thank you very much to Iran. It's just not true. And we have, this is a doozy. Look at this one. This is written in a different language. Let's translate it. Okay, show translation. In leaked footage reported by US and Iranian media, the leaked footage shows Netanyahu's body being quickly placed behind an ambulance. The footage has hit the global agenda like a bombshell. Okay, the problem here is that, here, let's take a closer look at this footage. So we have this, this is the ambulance. And they're carrying what looks like a body. You see these vests? This does not look to me like Israeli personnel at all. I don't even know what that emblem is on the back there. This is very strange footage here, but it's certainly not, these are not Israeli emergency vehicles. All right, nice try there. And here, this is a real doozy, which kind of hit home for me because, look at this one. China and Iranian intelligence leaked the first videos of Netanyahu's house where multiple casualties are reported. So there's a few problems here. Let's take a look. The problem we have with this one is that you notice that it says up here, Tel Aviv, Israel. There are two problems here. First of all, this isn't Tel Aviv. This is footage of the site where there was where the mass casualty event, where a ballistic missile hit Beth Shemesh. Okay, Beth Shemesh is not Tel Aviv. It's nowhere near Tel Aviv. Secondly, Netanyahu doesn't live in Tel Aviv. Prime Minister Netanyahu has two homes. He has a home in Jerusalem and he has a home in Caesarea. And everyone in the country knows that. He doesn't even live in Tel Aviv. So this is just an absurd. And oh yeah, there's a community note here that says that. The video was originally recorded on March 1st in Beth Shemesh, Israel. It depicts rescue operations in the city, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's another one. So this is all the evidence these people are bringing. And then today, Prime Minister Netanyahu released a video of himself ordering coffee and made light of the whole thing. That's what he says here.
לצאת להתאוורר, אבל ליד מרחב מוגן. והעמידה שלכם היא מדהימה, נותנת כוח לי, לממשלה, לצה"ל, למוסד. אנחנו עושים דברים שאני לא יכול לשתף ברגע זה, אבל עושים דברים מכים באיראן חזק מאוד, גם ביום הזה, גם בלבנון, ממשיכים. אתם אומרים לי להמשיך? אני אומר לכולכם, גם אתם תמשיכו. תמשיכו להישמע להוראות פיקוד העורף, כל הזמן, להישמע להוראות פיקוד העורף, וגם לראשי הערים, להיות תמיד ליד מרחב מוגן. ואנחנו נקל ככל שהדבר ניתן. ותודה לך על הקפה, הוא מצוין.
All right, so there's Prime Minister Netanyahu ordering a cup of coffee right at the end of the video.
אני לא יודע לדבר קלוריות, זה נראה לי מסוכן מאוד. תודה.
Okay, there's Prime Minister Netanyahu, and then we have a news alert. The Instagram account of the cafe where Benjamin Netanyahu was seen drinking coffee has begun sharing posts. The posts include photos and videos from inside the cafe suggesting that Netanyahu was indeed present there. Okay, these posts quickly drew attention online as they surfaced amid the ongoing Coffeegate debate about the authenticity of the video circulating on the media. Okay, so people are claiming the video is AI, and then here's a video of him walking to his office with his advisor, Yonatan Orich, and then someone's claiming that there's something about the pocket that is weird.
הם מתנהגים, פנטסטי. אתה רוצה לספור את מספר אצבעות? אתה יכול להראות לנו? בוא.
There he's poking fun at people saying that he had 6 fingers because of that shadow that looked like a 6th finger in that video. That led to the whole conspiracy.
לצאת להתאוורר, אבל ליד מרחב מוגן. והעמידה שלכם היא מדהימה, נותנת כוח לי, לממשלה, לצה"ל, למוסד. אנחנו עושים דברים שאני לא יכול לשתף ברגע זה, אבל עושים גם בלבנון.
The person who made this video claims that there's something strange about the pocket that makes one think that it's AI. I'm not sure what they're talking about.
פיקוד העורף, כל הזמן, נשמע להוראות פיקוד העורף, וגם לראשי הערים, להיות תמיד ליד מרחב מוגן. אנחנו נקל ככל שהדבר ניתן. ותודה לך על הקפה, הוא מצוין.
I'm not sure what's wrong with the pocket. That's what they're claiming. They're claiming there's something strange about the pocket. Don't get it? It says right up here, Netanyahu's AI-generated video, look at the pocket. Don't know what that means. And here it says, breaking, it has been confirmed that the new video of Benjamin Netanyahu at this Sataf coffee shop is actually AI generated. AI experts and detection software confirmed that the Israeli Prime Minister's official X account posted a fake video. Now I'm looking at this pocket. He's putting his hand in the pocket. What exactly is the problem here? Not sure what they're talking about. And yeah. And they're pointing at the pocket with an arrow. Let's take a look at this video. See, they're putting a hand in their pocket. Why do they think this is AI generated? Hand in the pocket. Okay, and what exactly is supposed to be wrong with this? Beyond me, I don't get it at all. And here's another little video from today of Prime Minister Netanyahu. Anyway, so that's that. So that's our current controversy. Now, let me just talk to you about what I think this means. Look, there are people who, of course, there's a lot of people in the media and also a lot of people in America on the right as well. And a lot of that is coming from people on the right who didn't want this war to happen. And I totally understand that. I understand from an America First perspective, there's a lot of people who question why this is an American interest. They weren't convinced of the arguments made why it is. And listen, I'm an Israeli. I live in Israel. That's my concern. And I'm not going to get into the game of convincing Americans that this war is in their interest. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That's something for Americans to determine, and for the President of the United States to determine, and for the voters to determine. But for some reason, the people who didn't want this war to happen also are now showing that they have an interest in Israel losing. They want it to work out badly, because not wanting the war to happen has led them into this dark place where they don't actually want it to work out well. They want it to go badly so it can confirm their opposition to it, because they have all these doomsday predictions about how the war is going to work out and how it's actually going to be bad for Israel and for America. So they want it to go badly. So any news of it going well bothers them. So they embrace all the conspiracy theories and the lies about Tel Aviv getting destroyed and about Netanyahu being killed, and assuming that there's all sorts of cover-ups of mass casualties that aren't being talked about. It's a very strange psychology. Because why would you, like, even if you didn't want the war to happen, why would you want it to go badly just to confirm your political position? Like, even if you don't think it's an American interest, once America decides to do it, shouldn't you be hoping that it goes well? And I think that, the fact that people have gone down this rabbit hole and they've embraced this type of stuff just shows how blind and foolish and infantile, really, their hatred of Israel is at this time, and how they're being blinded by this anger about the possibility of it all actually working out and not being an abject failure. I'm not claiming that it's all going to work out great. There's a lot of different ways that this can still go sideways, and if you watch this channel, you know that I'm very open about that. But let's stay away from nonsense, conspiracies, and spreading lies. It doesn't help the political discourse, and it only makes people look foolish down the road. So let's stay away from all that stuff and keep focused on actual news. There's enough to talk about this war, and there's enough real controversial issues that really need to be debated that are honestly, there's good reasons to be on both sides of a lot of issues of this war. But trafficking in this nonsense, where you're claiming that there's thousands of Israelis have been killed and Tel Aviv is burning and Netanyahu is dead, when it's just complete and utter nonsense. Okay, I mean, it just is. It's ridiculous. And Israel is a free country with free media, and a lot of people who hate Prime Minister Netanyahu, and there's left and right, and if Tel Aviv was burning, you'd see lots of really good hard evidence. And if Prime Minister Netanyahu was killed, you'd see good hard evidence. If he was being hauled into an ambulance in some mass, in some terrible event where his house was bombed, there'd be enough bystanders and people around who would reveal that. Again, it's a free country with citizen journalists and open press. And a lot of people who don't like Prime Minister Netanyahu. There's every reason in the world for that to get out, and there's no reason for to start trafficking in this stuff. But it's a form of psychological warfare, and unfortunately, the people who hate this war and who are opposed to it, and I'm really, forget about the left; they're in a different category. But there's a lot of people on the right who have just embraced this stuff because of their blind hatred of Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu. So they should wake up and grow up, and let's have real conversations. I'm not saying you have to be for this war, but let's keep the debate to things that actually are substantive and based in reality. There are honest disagreements we can have about this war, but let's stop trafficking in all sorts of AI nonsense. All right. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of the channel. Please give me advice, advice to improve the channel, and please keep sharing and liking and doing all that great stuff. I really appreciate you. God bless.